Currently, there are 4 major theme parks in America that either are or possibly will be building a roller coaster over 300 feet tall. And as you know, the world definitely needs more gigas. In this video, I will be sharing with you those 4 parks and what types of coasters that I think they're going to be building. Then at the end of the video, I'll be sharing a wildcard park for you to keep your eye on as well. What is going on? This is Theme Park Brandon, and I'm really glad you're here. And these 4 parks, obviously the first one in Six Flags Over Texas, we already know that due to the permits and stuff, this ride will be over 300 feet, 309 feet apparently, and it's going to be a record-breaking Giga Dive Coaster. So the layout's not been released yet. We know the track color and the placement as far as where in the park it's going to be located. And again, that's going to be a major deal for over Texas, because this park could definitely benefit from high capacity, another skyline game-changing attraction, as well as reliable ride. And this ride's going to be the most marketable attraction that Six Flags, any coaster at Six Flags in Texas has ever built, whether it's Fiesta or over Texas. This is a major deal, and I cannot wait to see the attendance bump from this attraction. So hopefully we'll get an announcement come mid-July, late July. But again, keep your eye on this park. I know I'll be visiting it. I'm not a big dive coaster fan, but the thought of being 300 feet up there on a dive coaster looking down, sign me up. I'm all for that. That'll be really, really cool. I'll still probably like Mr. Freeze better, but you never know. So this park here is Great Adventure, and we all know that they're supposedly getting a record-breaking launch coaster. That's what the park announced last year. We don't know much details. The leading rumor is this mock tower coaster, spinning shuttle coaster, whatever you want to call it. It was in the surveys, and while I'm not the biggest fan of this style of ride, it looks fun. I just don't think Mock Rides has any business building a coaster that large and that crazy because of all the issues that Top Thrill 2 has had. And Great Adventure could definitely benefit from a new coaster. That's obvious, since they removed Kingda Ka and Green Lantern. I think that I really hope that this tower coaster isn't the case, because apparently it's going to be over 300 feet tall. It's going to be 400 feet, which is just absurd for that type of ride and the whole shuttle aspect. I just don't think that's the best way for Great Adventure to go forward in this very, very important couple years for the park. And I think they hopefully will understand that and know this, and that survey was just there to kind of get a feeler of the situation, and they have another plan in place, because this ride, while it looks cool, I don't think it's a great fit for Great Adventure. But what could be the other type of coaster? Who knows? Maybe it's 300 feet, maybe it's smaller, maybe it's taller. I just think they're going to do a lot of great things with Great Adventure going forward. And I feel like there's still a very good chance that we might see a coaster next year. I don't think the project's been, from what I'm hearing, the project has not been canceled. Might be delayed due to all the tariffs and stuff, but who knows what's happening. I just know that I am excited for Great Adventure's future, and I feel like they're definitely going to be making, hopefully, some really solid improvements to the park and decisions going forward to make Great Adventure an even better park. And if you're like me and you miss Kingda Ka, then check out my Long Live the King t-shirt here. You can find it in my merch store at keepridingcoasters.com. Comes on t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, everything you possibly want. Thank you all so much. Now heading down to Florida for Fun Spot America. Now I wish they would build a 300-foot tall coaster, but heading a little bit southwest of Tampa for Busch Gardens, Tampa. Now, this park has been rumored to be getting a Giga coaster for quite some time. And I made videos in the past showing you where exactly the park could build it and why it makes sense. And people said, oh, they'll never build that tall of a ride. They can't because of the city. But they have Falcon's Ferry. And I said, you know what? If Busch Gardens wants a ride this big, they would find a way to build it. Well, sure enough, we have the surveys. About 2 months ago now, I think it was, they sent out where they specifically say a very large scale giga size coaster that features massive drops and airtime hills. So it appears that Busch Gardens and United Parks, horrible name, is gearing towards hopefully building a giga coaster in Tampa, making it the tallest, longest, and fastest coaster in Florida. Now that is how you market a ride. I love this fit. Again, there's so many areas in the park where they could build a massive ride like this. Adding a giga to Busch Gardens Tampa and pairing that with Iron Gwazi and Shikra, Kumba, Montu, Cheetah Hunt, that's a top-notch coaster lineup. Now, if only Busch Gardens can get their operations in check, because running one train on Iron Gwazi and the slower operations, they really need to be addressed. Unfortunately, as a former ride operator, you know it's true. It sucks. But hopefully they'll work on those and get everything back in order for this beautiful, wonderful park in order for them to open up this magnitude of a ride, which obviously is not coming in 2026, but maybe 2027. So I'm really intrigued by this and the theme, the name, the location, how large. So my fingers are crossed for Busch Gardens Tampa for the Giga. Now, this park is a little bit out there, and there's really no rumors as far as the specific type of ride for it, but they just announced that they want to double the attendance of this park. That's insane. This is Six Flags Magic Mountain, and we already know that Superman Krypton coaster is gone. The structure is going to remain, but the ride itself is no longer going to operate. And we know they're getting this cool family suspended coaster. It's a new type of Vekoma. I forget, it's a straddle. I forget what it's called. I'll put it up on the screen here. This looks fun. I'm intrigued by it, but I feel that if you want to double the attendance, you're going to have a rather aggressive plan in place for that. And obviously, the biggest type of ride that you could build, take Carowinds for example, would be a Giga for Fury 325. That ride there did so many great things for Carowinds. Just imagine building a ride along the same size as Fury 325 or even Orion at Magic Mountain. This would be legit cool, especially if they could build it off of the mountain in the middle of the park somehow, some way. That would be legit cool. Who knows how they can fit this ride in. There's definitely room, and hopefully they will not be removing any other coasters to make way for it. But I do understand if they do decide to remove Viper or even Ninja, two coasters that are both kind of out of date and older, and not Ninja's not really that rough, but Viper definitely is. But as long as they keep X2, I think we are fine. So now it's time to get to the wildcard park, and it's a park probably not on your radar really when you think of a new Giga coaster, a ride over 300 feet or at least a 300 foot tall drop, but it's Carowinds. And here is why. Rumor on the street, I've heard from multiple people that the Six Flags Over Texas Giga Dive Coaster was apparently going to go to Carowinds. I believe in the spot of the new water ride coming next to Fury 325. For whatever reason, they decided to move this ride over Texas, which honestly I understand. I think that's a better fit for right now. Over Texas needs some new capital, new reliable rides. And so they want to the new company really wants to focus on the legacy Six Flags parks, really keep making them up to standards with the legacy Cedar Fair parks going forward, which makes a lot of sense in a lot of ways. Now, both chains do relatively good in most aspects, but Carowinds could definitely benefit from a Giga Dive Coaster in the center of the park to replace Nighthawk. Now, that would be the best fit in my opinion. I would rather, as far as the GP goes and what I think is going to happen. Now, what I would love to see happen at Carowinds, and yes, I would trade this over a 300 foot tall Giga Dive, would be a 200 foot tall Vekoma tilt coaster larger than Siren's Curse in the same spot. But back to the dive. If Carowinds would get a Giga Dive, the center of the park makes the most sense. This would then become a focal point of Carowinds in the center of the park. Just imagine the skyline walking up, seeing Thunderstriker, then the brand new 300-foot tall dive, and then over here to your right is Fury. Like, that's legit cool. Carowinds' last major coaster was 2019 when they opened up Red Strike, so they are very much past due. So those are my thoughts regarding where all the next 300-foot tall coasters that I can see going at the parks here in America. But let me know if I missed a park and you think a park should have been on this list. With that being said, you definitely want to check out how I rank every single ride at Epic Universe at the showcase video at the bottom of your screen. So you know what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and of course keep riding coasters.